Shalom, this is the brother Tazaba coming back to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, again with another lesson. Before I start off, I want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor unto Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai, Baal Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there that's spreading this word and sincerity and the truth all over the four corners of the earth. Gone. The danger of a one-sided story. Okay, the danger of a one-sided story. We as Israelites, we as Hebrew Israelites, especially Hebrew Israelites that, start to assemble each other, start to assemble amongst each other, creating camps, creating groups, breaking bread with one another, creating back this ancient community. Okay, which is really coming to pass right now, is really coming to fruition right now, that we are starting to become a community again of Israelites in the know, Israelites in the truth. Okay, like you had back in the days, you would knock at the door of an Israelite, you would state your name, your tribe, family name, and you would be able to just stay at the man's house. He would prepare food for you. Okay, we're going back to those places, man. It's like to those times. Okay, so in order to, fully go back to those times mentally, we also have to stand in righteous judgment. As you see here, okay, there's a picture of this guy from the side where it seems he's pulling up the middle finger, but he's actually putting up the tree. You understand? Just like the lion on the right, it seems like it's eating its cub, but it's actually just carrying it. Okay, so we oftentimes come in certain situations in this truth wherein we have to judge, wherein we have to decide what is what. Okay, so I would like to start off with, let me just start off with the James chapter 1 verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not righteousness of the Most High. So if you hear a story, and if you hear that story is very disturbing, it might be that your anger gets activated immediately. Meanwhile, you should listen to the story first. You should examine what the story is all about. It might be a very disturbing story, but you have to know whether that story is true. You understand? You might respond with all kinds of emotions after hearing that story, but it might be that man that told you this is talking out of his ass, man. You understand? So important is to know two sides of the story. Know what it is all about. The one story might be, this dude pulled up his middle finger, this, that, and the third. It ain't even true. He put up the tree. Yeah, this lion was devouring its own cub. It's not even true. It's carrying it. Actually taking care of it. You understand? It's certain things might not always be what they seem. Okay, that's why we oftentimes speak about counsels, having counsel amongst each other. Okay, Yahushua mentioned that if something happens between you and your neighbor, you talk with each other. If that doesn't work, you bring a witness. If that witness doesn't, if you cannot figure it out with the witness there, then you go to the church. You see, very important steps, man. Okay, now it says here, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High. So the Most High wants us to, cool, calm, and collective. Fix the problem, fix the issue, speak on it, bring forth righteousness, let good communication come out of their mouth. All these scriptures, point out the mannerisms where which you need to solve situations, not with emotions, not with anger, not with wrath. Be patient. You understand? That's why back in the days, you also had the Sanhedrin, the body of elders. If you think about the situation with Gamaliel, okay, the Sanhedrin, the elders were very certain chaos came forth wherein wrong judgment was about to be passed, and Gamaliel brought back that cool, calm, and collective spirit. He said, listen, let's examine these men. Let's give them some space. Okay? Because if it's not of the Most High, it's gonna come to naught. Y'all stressing about this group, these followers of Yahweh Shai, y'all stressing about it. But if this ain't the truth, it's gonna come to naught eventually. Think about Theodas. You understand? He gave certain examples to calm down that angry spirit. Okay, we gotta stand in councils in that same way, in that same mannerism, and before we judge, we need to examine the whole truth. Okay, going back to the times of Moses, man. Okay, what happened? The Most High put the spirit on Jethro to tell Moses to create captains over 50s, captains over thousands, So this is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 15. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, captains over hundreds, captains over 50s, captains over tens, and officers among your tribes. You see that? So just like how we have officers, heads, captains in the camps, in the diverse camps all over the world, to keep a certain order, this was what was going on back in the days too. Okay? And then it says, verse 16, and I charged your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is within them. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is of the Most High. The judgment is the Most High's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. You understand? So this also gave Moses some space. You understand? He cannot do all the judging. He cannot listen to all the causes. It's too much. You understand? So captains were set up to handle certain business. And if it was too difficult to judge the situation according to the law of the Most High, okay, they would speak about it. What is what? How are we going to solve it? Can't figure it out? Go to Moses. You see? But what did Moses say? Hear the causes between your brethren. Don't judge based off of who this person is. Okay? Don't have respect of persons. Don't just believe a man that is in a higher position, with his statement, and the younger brother, yeah, fuck the younger brother, he's new to this truth. Nah. We got to hear both sides. That's how it works within this truth, man. Hear both sides. Okay? Because a one-sided story might lead to this. It might lead to the top one. This is a one-sided story. Meanwhile, this is actually the truth. Now the scriptures speak about it too. Okay? Let's go to that. Proverbs. I had it all lined up, so it's in my history. Okay, this is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 13. He that answered a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him. So if you go all out before you hear the whole matter, before you actually know what went down, you start flipping out, getting emotional, and then, but listen, it wasn't even like that. It was like this, that, and the third. Oh, shit. Now you get confounded. Now you get ashamed. Now you put on the spot. Certain people, when they get put on the spot, when they actually judge wrong judgment, now the ego starts to kick in. Now they're gonna look for a way to still accuse this man. Nah, man, you was wrong. Stop the cap. You understand? You was wrong. You put forth wrong judgment. Now the man says it wasn't like that. It was like this. Why are you flipping out still? You gotta humble yourself, man. You gotta step back and realize that, hey, you made a big mistake. Okay? Don't let ego come in between. Just say, oh shit, Slakia, wrong judgment. My bad, man. Okay? What does the scripture say? The meek shall inherit the earth. Okay? So we gotta be meek. We gotta be humble. We make mistakes too. We in the flesh. Accept that. Okay? Let's read this one in the NLT. The NLT, spouting off before listening to the facts is both shameful and foolish. And that's facts, man. That's facts. Okay, jump into verse 17. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. Now, again, go into this picture. A man that is first in his cause, the man that is first to speak, points out that that dude was doing this. Yeah, he was putting up the middle finger, this, that, and the third. I even have a picture. Look at it. Now it seems that he's right. But then the neighbor comes and searcheth him and shows that this is actually the truth. You understand? A story has both sides. Has two sides, man. Always make sure that you hear both sides, even though it might be obvious that this was the thing that was going on. Think about it, man. You never know. Okay? Story has more to it, man. Okay? He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. And that is also the importance of counsel, man. Okay? The NLT, the first to speak in court sounds right until the cross-examination begins, until, we start to get to the fullness of the story. You understand? That's important, man. Very important in this truth. Okay, to hear the whole matter, to hear the whole story, like it says in the book of Sirach. This is Sirach chapter 11, verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause. Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Because I remember I used to watch these TV shows, right, where they have a certain quiz, but you need to answer fast. So sometimes the quiz master would ask a question, but the question is not complete yet. For example, the capital city of France. Boom, the dude slams the red button. He says Paris. Then the quiz master is like, hey, you should have waited. Let me state the question again because I wasn't finished. The capital city of France, which is Paris, has a monument. What is the name of the monument? You see? So the guy slammed the red button too fast because he thought he knew the answer, but the question wasn't finished. Okay? So that can lead to giving wrong answers, wrong information, and basically a counsel that can last a couple of minutes is being stretched out too long. Because why? You constantly being interrupted. You cannot speak the whole matter. That's why let every man speak, and let's solve it. Let's come to the conclusion. Okay, let's get to the fullness of things. Important you let each other speak. You understand? Sirach 11 and 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Hear both sides. Or, if you see something, hey, get to the bottom of it. Why have you done this? Why did you do this? I saw you doing this. What you doing this for? Examine it. Ask him. Understand first, then rebuke. Because maybe the rebuke isn't even needed. Maybe the guy knows that he's in trespass and said, yeah, shit, I fucked up. I know while I was doing it, I was like, shit, why did I do this? You understand? And that might rebuke turn into reproof. Rebuke is sharp, a sharp correction. And the reproof is just, more easy, more soft, more gentle. Okay? Answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. And that's what it is, man. That's how we got to move. That's how we got to operate in this truth. All right. Now, let me see. I also had James. This is the book of James. And I also had John. What is going on? Why isn't it loading? The Bible app was tripping. Okay, this is James chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High. We already pulled that one. But again, it's good to mention it again, man. Be quick to hear, slow to speak. because it's more important to listen to the details of the whole matter instead of constantly talking. Let the whole matter be spoken. Then you're gonna figure out what is what. Okay. Now here Nicodemus said to the Pharisees, John chapter 7 verse 50, Nicodemus said unto them, he that came to Yahushua by night, being one of them, the secret disciples, doth our law judge any man before it hear him, and know what he doeth? So he points out the law. The law says, listen to the whole matter. Okay, I just read it in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 1. And I believe the cross-reference also, you see, the cross-reference also points out Deuteronomy 1 and 17, which I just read. Okay, hear the matter first. Then what did they answer? They answered and said unto him, art thou also of Galilee? They was like, man, search, look in the scriptures and figure out if a prophet really comes out of Galilee. And then it was like, man, it's enough with it, man. They thought they knew it all. You understand? That's why the scripture says the table is their fall, which the table goes into the tablets, the scriptures. They lack knowing the scriptures. So that became their fall. They thought they really knew the scriptures in and out. Okay? So based off of that, they messed up, you see? So it says, doth our law judge any man before it hear him, and know what he doeth? You see? And then they answered and said unto him, art thou also of Galilee? Search and look, for out of Galilee ariseth no prophet. And every man went unto his own house. So they should have asked. If they asked Yahushua where he came from, where he was actually born, he would have said Bethlehem. Now the scriptures speak about Bethlehem. The scriptures speak about Bethlehem, man. This is real quick, last scripture. Micah 5 and 2. But thou Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousand of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Israel, whose going forth have been from old, from everlasting. You see that? So if they figured it out, if they heard both sides of the story, then they would have known. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash, Shalom to the elect.